What up, guys? Good morning, everybody. Hope you can hear me okay. I see my audio bouncing up and down over there. I see the audio bouncing up and down over there. I'm assuming this is working. Assuming it's working, unless someone tells me otherwise. I'm sure someone will jump on here and tell me if it's not, but I think it is. What's up? What's up? Hey, Matt. What's up? Solomon, Matt Davies in London, I believe, right? What's up, Zero? Hey, Justin. What's up, Stocks Fox? I like that. Stocks Fox. So guys, you can probably notice something up on my screen that's a little different. We got this thing going on over here. This crazy looking chart. I'm sure most people probably know what this is. This is Bookmap. Um, I got a free trial for it just to check it out, to try it. I'm always looking for new order flow stuff to see how it works, and I spent some time with their education resources. I have tried something similar to this in the past. To be honest with you, I kind of given up. What's up, Major Dave? I given up, but I don't like to have too much stuff up. I feel like you can always find a reason not to enter a trade. So I want to see if this though is helpful in me identifying key levels of support and resistance and seeing if we can integrate it into our existing trading system. I'm thinking about scrapping my Bollinger Bands. I feel like it's too much stuff going on up here on these charts, and I want to get better at identifying those areas of support and resistance, or where price may want to move to or move away from. And I still want to use volume profile. We've got a session volume profile up here. We're going to look at the higher time frame charts in a minute. Nothing's really going to change, except we're going to have this up on occasion to check things out. One thing that I'll notice, one thing that I'm thinking about using this for is price is going to seek out liquidity, especially longer term liquidity. And so, like this morning, I've got a little bit of a bearish bias. If we just come in and look at cumulative delta, we're negative cumulative delta on the day. We're already negative on the day. We're trading just around VWAP, chopping around. We'll look at higher time frames, but let's just say our bias was bearish. Where would price perhaps want to go to? We can see that there's a massive amount of orders down here on the book at 13,620-ish level, 22 level. One of the strategies, one of the ways we might be able to use this is that if price begins trending in a certain direction, price is going to hunt or seek out liquidity. And so this could be a good price target for us. If if our other signals, our normal signals that we use, our normal trading strategy corresponds with that. So it's something that we're going to kind of have up, but we can see this massive area of orders sitting on the book down here. Price is probably going to want to come down and either fill those orders or get repelled away from it. But this might be an area where price is going to get sucked down into. We also can see a bunch of orders up here, right up here at like 50, 52. So, if you were thinking that price might want to come down here and seek this out, getting in around 52, which also happens to kind of correspond with VWAP. And the top of the band here in the 1 minute, this big area of resistance up here where we popped up, hit a couple times, you might be able to take that short, and you would probably try to hold it down to 22. Perhaps it is pre-market. I don't trade pre-market, so anything can happen pre-market. But we're gonna pop this thing up once in a while and take a look at it. But let's first go into there's lots of different ways that we can use this. But that's one way that I think we're gonna look at today. We can do stuff with like looking at imbalances. Like this is the dome over here. If anybody's used the dome before, some people I know like to trade the dome. We can have this thing up too, looking at it. You can look up here at the book and volume. You can find imbalances on the order book or imbalances on the volume. That's essentially cumulative delta. There's also a cumulative delta indicator I can throw up on here, but it's very similar to Ninja Traders. And I don't want to have too many things going on. This thing over here is kind of cool. This is a chart volume profile. So over here we've got, an overnight volume profile. Here we've got the session. I can throw up just the volume profile that I'm seeing on the chart, which I think might be handy. If price begins to trend, we start to have a breakout, we trend away, and I want to see if a low volume node is formed where it might be a good entry on a pullback. I can simply just adjust this chart, or what I can do is I can double click on this and it'll actually just reset this chart volume profile, and it'll start generating the profile now. So let's say we break out, I can double click on this and it'll start generating a volume profile from the breakout, so I can identify those low volume nodes for me to get in. There's a few other ways that I think we can use this. I spent a ton of time with it over the weekend learning about it. And I think there's definitely some stuff that we can add to our existing trading strategy using order flow. So we're gonna explore some more of this. I just want to let you know that's up here, but right now let's look at higher time frames and see what we got going on. So that's just another tool for our community. So we'll have it up, but we want to go through our higher time frame analysis. Sorry guys, my brain is like getting a little fried. Let's look at a weekly. The weekly chart for me yesterday, when I looked at it on Monday morning, looks very bullish. I posted this in the Discord. If you guys aren't on the Discord, there's a link to the description, but I did post this in there in the Trade Ideas channel on the Discord. But just look at what's going on here. And we got this trend line. We've broken to the upside on that trend line on a very bullish weekly candle. We can, this is just we don't need a whole bunch of fancy indicators and stuff to show us that on this weekly candle, this thing looks like it wants to push up, particularly because we've broken out of this downtrend. That's basics. And what I put on the Discord is that, you could trade this, but your stop's got to be quite a ways away. Your take profit is also quite a ways away. So if you're trading a full mini contract, you're looking at, 300 or 400 points of drawdown to your stop loss. But you're looking at 600 or 700 points probably to the upside. So trading it, if you got that, if you have that kind of size where you can enjoy, or you can enjoy that type of drawdown, type of account size where you can enjoy that type of drawdown, go for it, I guess. But if you're not, if you're a more conservative trader or just a more average trader, I would say, I don't think a lot of people can endure thousands of dollars in drawdown, nor do they really want to. Maybe tens of thousands, I don't even know. Anyways, you can look at like the triple Q, you can look at an ETF, you could look at maybe trading a micro contract instead of a mini. So there's different strategies, different ways that you could trade this breakout. It wouldn't have to be on a full size mini contract. But I wanted to point that out because it does look very bullish, this candle from last week. So, I think we have starting to get a larger term bullish bias. We drop down to the daily. We can see here that same channel comes in a little clearer. We can see on that same channel. We've broken out yesterday's candle, very bullish. Friday's candle, very bullish. All this looks very bullish, very bullish. 200 SMA up here. I think it's got it's in its sights. 14,000 I think is probably on the table for it. So let's keep that in mind. However, when I look down here, as I said before, on the technicals, we're negative this morning, but let's look at where would it maybe want to come down to. We've got this 4-hour channel, which we've drawn out here. You can also see it on the daily, I'm sure, but oops, I can just use this whole thing so I have my tabs. Here's the daily. Probably be, I don't think I have it actually drawn out here. It'd be like that. Right, it's a very steep incline going up there. Lots of things kind of fanning out, where we've got the original bullish uptrend, then we've got another bullish uptrend, now we've got this other bullish uptrend. I mean, that to me signals when we start to see these, you get the 1, 2, 3, when we start to see these fans forming as support, it shows me more aggressive buying coming through, particularly when we broke out of this this year-long down channel that we've been in. But when you trade futures contracts, the leverage is double-sided, right? It can provide a lot of reward. It can also provide give you a lot of risk. So just jumping into this again, as I said, your stop loss on this would probably be about 200 points away if you jumped in right now. Probably just below the daily candle, and I think your take profit would be up here close to 200 SMA, 14,000, that psych level. But let's look. We're not going to do that because we're basically scalpers, intraday traders here. So let's look at what we got going on. Yeah. On the 4-hour, we're just moving down our time frames, figuring out what's going on in the market. So here's that more aggressive up channel that we got going on right here. You know, it also corresponds with the bottom of the band on the 4-hour. This, I guess, would be a pretty good, you know, support level. I don't know if price would want to come down to that or not. We do have earnings this week. We've got some retail earnings this week, which I think are going to impact the market, which will be, you know, any week where you've got a bunch of earnings coming out, the market acts wonky. Some people are doing those earnings plays, buying, you know, buying the rumors, selling the news type stuff. So things are moving around a little sporadically or impulsively, I would say. But still, we are on this bullish up channel at the moment. On the 4-hour, you know, the only thing that's really catching my eye is the upside. You know, again, just knowing what we just looked at the weekly and on the daily, trying to find those pullbacks, you know, maybe on the 20 SMA on the 4-hour. But, you know, I don't know if it, maybe, I mean, really the big level is down here at 13,000, and we can draw that out. It's down here at 13,280. That is a ways away, right? That is a ways away. So, trying to, it's a little thicker. I'd like to be able to label these. I wish I could label these so they showed up on all my charts. I don't know if anybody knows how to do that or not. I'll have to look that up. I think it would be this tag, but it's not letting me edit it. So, well, we'll just leave it there for now. So I think that this level would be a real big area for it, but that's, you know, points away. 350 points away. I don't know. I mean, that's like a full day's range on it. We would have to have a really bearish day, I feel like, for it to come down there. I don't think that's in play today. Another one might be the 20 SMA on the 4-hour. And I'm drawing these lines out here, guys, but we're going to see if they correspond or add an area of confluence to anything else that we're doing. Right? So I'm not going to trade just off of this orange line. I want to see it coming together with some other things. So I leave it up there for now, and then we will move down time frames and see if anything else comes up. One thing I'm seeing down here on the 1-hour chart, this is a weekly session volume profile. So it's been generating since Sunday night. We've got this, you know, obviously this area of support going on down here. I'm going to draw this out in a box. Usually I draw low volume nodes or support areas like this out in a box because they're more of a zone, I think. You know, I can see that we've got several touches down here. 1, 2, 3. We have a low volume node. It's rather big. So I think price could explore down there a little bit before finding support. We're right at the edge of it. Up here at 13,640. It does look like it wants to come down a little bit more. And I think this is what we were talking about, you know, using this book map tool here. You know, we can see this massive area of liquidity down here around 13,626, and even some more down here at 22. You know, I suspect that price, given what we just saw, you know, in the short term is going to want to come down here and try to find some of this liquidity. And this might be the area where we find support to take it back up, right? That's coming into that low volume node that we saw on the 1-hour chart. You know, we started with our higher time frames, which gave us a bullish bias in terms of technicals. It looks like we're moving up, right? We're looking for a good place of support that we may want to try to get in. And one area are those low volume nodes, which I like to use. If anyone's traded, anyone's watched this channel before, I like low volume nodes as areas of support and resistance. We've got several touches down there, which we just pointed out on the 1-hour chart. We've had at least 3 touches down at this level. And now we've got these big areas of liquidity down here that may provide some support. These are big buy orders that are just sitting on the book. that are waiting to get filled. And lots of times market manipulators will drive price down here to make sure that their orders get filled and before it goes back up. So this is one way that we can use Bookmap, I think, for us to maybe be patient a little bit and confirm those levels that we just marked out using the technical analysis. So that's probably what I'll try to do this morning. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to draw, this was down here at what, 22 down to like 19. So that's almost exactly where this blue box was that I drew out over here on the 1 hour chart. So I'll just draw this out a little bit more down to maybe 19. And we'll use this as kind of like our support zone. And one way that we would trade this is wait for price to come down here. And then we can also use some order flow tools like Cumulative Delta. Bookmap over here has got these big bubbles, which are orders, actually orders that are being executed. These are the orders that are sitting on the book are considered passive orders. They're just sitting on the book, and sometimes these can be spoofs. These can be, the orders will get pulled, meaning that they actually won't be traded, and it's to try to manipulate the market as well. One way you can try to figure out if they're not spoof orders is look at how long they've been sitting on the book, and the longer they've been there, the higher likelihood that they're legitimate orders. So I was looking at this last week when I was trading, and I did notice when we had these longer term areas of liquidity that they tended to be legitimate orders. So keeping that in mind. Sometimes what we can also do is, as price is moving down here, we can look at the orders on the offer, meaning the sell orders that are up here. If they're moving down with price, that means that selling pressure is continuing, right? Maybe coming down to this area of liquidity. Again, it's pre-market. Markets can open, oh my God, in 1 minute. So let's see. We've got our zone down there. We've got marked out all the way down to 19. One thing I'll be looking for is for it to drop down into this level, and then maybe see how it reacts to this. So let's watch it, see what it does on the market open. See how it goes. And I haven't even looked at the chat. I've just been chit-chatting so much this morning. Chit-chatting so much. If you're just joining us, what we've done is we've gone through, market just opened, gone through, we did higher time frame technical analysis, marked out a potential support zone down here all the way down to 19. We used that. We did that using this low volume node that we have over in the session volume profile, plus using some Bookmap tools. So we're just going to see how price wants to react. We can see how it's popping down here. You see these big sell. We can actually get more granular on this, like that. So you can actually see the trades being executed. Looks like it's pushing, trying to push. Popping down there now. And we think that these orders down here at 22 want to get filled, right? Again, these are all just guesses. They're hypotheses, right? It's a hypothesis of what might happen. And one way you can do it is if that's what you thought, the price was going to come down to 22.19 level, you could fight for price. You could try to get in at better areas. So it's now moving down to that. Hitting that liquidity down here. You can see all those orders coming through. Liquidity's holding. It's absorbing that selling pressure. One thing I don't like is I was looking at this Bookmap thing, and there's so much looking at the past where they'll pull one of these things up and then they'll say, oh, you can see how price reacted here and absorb those orders. Well, it's like they absorbed those orders and then repelled it, or I don't know. You can always like make the context fit your narrative or what you're trying to teach. And that's the one thing I hate about trading gurus on YouTube is they're so full of shit. It's not even cherry picking, it's just bullshitting. There's one guy in particular who's fantastic at bullshitting. I'm sorry, I shouldn't use bad language. I know we have kids watching this. You can see how the liquidity down here is holding. Now we're pushing up into that zone, pushing up. See all that aggressive buying coming through. That's the same as cumulative delta. If we look at these bubbles over here, bubbles that are going on, we look at cumulative delta over here. It's the same thing, reading that order flow. Yeah, Kyle, my man. So I need to look at the chat here. I've been looking at all this stuff. What's up, Justin? I think I already say more than Justin. Ayub, good morning. Trading, what's up, Nico? 19K, Kai, Craig, good morning. ABI, good morning, sir. Do you use ES or largest equities for correlations before entry? No, I don't. I've got ES up on another screen, but I don't look at it. There's too much stuff going on, man. I got too much stuff going on to where I can't. It's just information overflow. We had the zone down here, the support zone. Price came down into it. If I didn't have anything else on my chart, I'd be looking for like 60 to break, and then us to move back up into like 77. But you know, I still wondering if this stuff this liquidity down here, where'd it go? I gotta zoom out. You know, we're doing a little bit of bookmap testing down here. This big area of liquidity down here, 22 wants to get down, really down at 20, wants to get filled. Bunch of orders sitting down there. Some orders at 25 that those guys could be trying to front run it, I guess. All these terms, I don't know what all these terms mean. I mean, I kind of do, but I hate when people use these terms. There's another YouTuber who was absolutely killing me with his terms. I'm like, dude, the price is going up or down. Like, stop trying to act like you're some sort of neurosurgeon. SW Blaze, good morning. Roach Gang, good morning, sir. Jeff, good morning. Durgish, good morning. Mr. Bear, what's your PC monitor size? I don't even know what this is. It might be 24s. I think I've got 24s. I was actually thinking about that this morning. Because now I think I'm going to start trying to use this bookmap a little bit more. I don't want to confuse us. I don't want it to be like information overload. We can see here it's coming down to that support zone. We're pinning out of it. The other thing I should look at is if we've got a trend line here on the hourly. No, I was thinking about that this morning. My monitor size, I think my monitors are inadequate for today's day and age. I mean, I bought these monitors like 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. Everybody now has these like nice curved, fancy smancy monitors. Not Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear has. I don't know if I'm gonna get filled on that. I was trying to take a scalp. I didn't get filled. I have to get out. I'm not gonna get filled on that. I didn't get filled. I wanted to get filled. I saw this going on here. Delta moving up. We were in a little bit of consolidation still. I saw Delta starting to move higher. I was gonna take a quick scalp here to VWAP, and that was gonna be my trade. Missed it. Didn't get filled. I didn't get filled because my hotkeys, and maybe I need to adjust this, are not set for market orders. They're set, so if I hit Control B, it's going to fill me on, it's going to put an order on the bid. I'm trying to get a good price on it. Maybe I should put it getting filled on the ask. I may need to change those settings and get a little more aggressive with it. You know what I'm saying? This looks like it's going to roll down here. Look at the 1 minute. It's looking bearish. It's looking bearish on the 1 minute, blah, 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 5 minute. But Delta's making higher lows, so I'm getting a little bit of Delta divergence there, I guess. Let's look at old bookmap is showing. It's still showing all that liquidity down here at 20. I think that would be your target. If you were in a short on this, that thing was going to roll, I'd probably be looking to get it at 20. Bookmap, you can also use it for ES. You can see all this liquidity here at ES we're hitting right there. But this looks like it's shorter term liquidity because unless it already got eaten up. Higher term liquidity appears. It's bouncing off that at 93. When we say liquidity, it's just orders. Anyways, we're trading the Nasdaq. Now we got that break to the downside. Came down to 25. Look at all those orders punching through. Now we're right there at that area of liquidity we're talking about. Getting through it, eating those orders. Delta did not make new lows on that. Looking to see if we get some buying coming through here. It might hunt more liquidity. It might come down here and hunt more liquidity at 600. I like that term, hunting liquidity. It feels like I'm like out in the, jungle, hunting my liquidity. It just sounds cool. Hunt liquidity. Maybe that's gonna be my t-shirts. I take a little scalp short there. I am mindful that the open has not been my strengths. My strength has not been my open. I had this thing open. I had this thing open in on Friday afternoon, I think, and I took some screenshots of it, and it was actually really interesting. Really interesting. It was definitely seeking out that liquidity. I think it is seeking out liquidity down here at 603. When we had that breakout, yeah, it was on Friday when we had that breakout. Remember the breakout we had on Friday afternoon? I was watching that thing and it was just like seeking liquidity, seeking liquidity, seeking liquidity, all the way up to the upside. So we took just another short scalp there. I got a pretty bad fill on it, meaning it wasn't. I mean, that's just where I put my order. I was using hotkeys. I was looking at something else, but I should have shorted on this candle right there. Now we've come down. We've hit this larger area of orders. It's bouncing off of it, so we're just scalping the thing now. What I think I would actually like to do is trade how it's bouncing off of all these orders down here at 600. Is let structure build up a little bit more with it. And use it. I found my best trades are coming at like 9:30 to 10. So yeah, that's right, Major Dave. I'm a bear. I would be where? I don't where do bears live? And like like Alaska, hunting salmon. I'm hunting salmon up the river. I tell you what, if I ever went to Alaska, I would step off that plane and get eaten by a bear. You just know it. I'd step right off the plane and a bear would come running onto the tarmac and just devour me. You know what's funny? I live in Missouri in the Midwest. Just moved here a few years ago, and we're starting to get bears here. It's like bear sightings now, which was they never had bears before. Now it's like something I got to worry about. Bears. I don't want to worry about bears. I'm walking with my kids and little bears come up. I used to live in North Carolina. Um, they had I got in the Smoky Mountains. They got black bears, but um, survived that. I survived that living in the suburbs of Raleigh. Survived. I survived in the wilderness. Oh my god. Now we're seeing here. This is interesting to me. It looks like support's forming to me. It looks like support's forming to me. How we see liquidity now building below price, right? That 1 minute though looks like it maybe wants to roll. So, I mean, that's the other way we were talking about how we could possibly use this is that as price begins to move up, we want to see liquidity coming in below it to provide support structure. Mountain lions, yeah, they got mountain lions here, man. Oh, they got mountain lions. We got armadillos. I guess armadillos. But I grew up in Missouri. We moved back here with my kids to be closer to my family. And I was a kid. We never had. Man, none of this stuff ever existed. One thing I need to keep in mind, even though I'm looking at this book map, I think it's interesting, is I need to keep in mind my normal trading structure, which is if I'm looking to go long on this thing, if I'm looking for like a trend reversal, I need the bearish trend to break. And one way that we can do that is just drawing simple trend lines. We draw, we connect the lower highs here, and wait for that to break. I also like when the 20 SMA breaks. So that's up there at 35. And the interesting thing is, look at Bookmap. Look where the liquidity is sitting right now, short term, right at 35. Right? If that breaks, that liquidity gets eaten, and price continues to move through, then all those sellers have got to become buyers. Let's put a you could try a buy stop right there. I want to see if price can get through that. Can't. But that's a way that we can use this tool, I think, because if you guys know my trading, I like the 20 SMAs. So that's now at 33. Got this area of resistance coming in. I think you might get a pop up to 45-ish. And if not, we would need to put, another way that we can use this tool is figuring out where we put our stops. So, if price begins to move up here, let's say we bought it here, just for shits and giggles. If we bought it here, our stop would need to be right below this big area of liquidity, which is also the support level. Like if it gets through, what is this, 11? I think you probably want to get out. 12, 11, you need to get out, which is right at this area, right here. And you can see it on here, this level of support. So it's just another tool to use to confirm kind of what we already know. You can see a point of control coming. I'm going to take this order off because I feel like it's too far away at the moment. I don't know. That trade, I think that pop there is done, but I don't know. Moving back up here. I like how Delta's giving this nice. It's looking bullish to me, to be honest. I'm gonna take this zone off because it's just in my face. It's looking bullish down here, but look at the 1 minute mixed signals. Mixed signals. Now it's pushing lower. That looks bearish. Coming back in. Look at all that selling coming through. That's another thing I need to learn more about, how to more effectively. I know this is showing like aggressive, so, and you can get really granular on this. I mean, I can get into like the milliseconds if I want to see what's going on. But these are just orders getting executed. So the order book are passive orders. Those are orders that are sitting there. These are the aggressive orders, I guess you would call it. These are the ones that are actually getting executed. And then cumulative delta is also aggressive. It's buyers coming in at seller prices, sellers coming in at buyer prices, blah blah blah. So it's just the way that we can use these order books. Now it looks like it's probably going to pop, I think. Again, this liquidity coming in here, that's up at 32-ish, which is right at this resistance level. All right, we can see the technical resistance level right there at 33. Corresponds with this 500 volume downtrend line. But this started pre-market. I like to do my trend lines starting in the session. Pre-market is. Pre-market's the B team. Instead of trying to go long on it, I should be looking to go short of it on it up here at 31. Changing your bias is difficult, Changing your bias is difficult. 846. Let's see what the 15-minute candle looks like for us. Bearish. Bearish on the 15-minute. But it's moving up. There. Now I got that pop. Let's look at what. Where's this thing? Isn't that liquidity still at 35? The liquidity, though, is moving up here. See how this 1 minute closes? A lot of wicks going on here on the 1 minute. Wick. A lot of rejection levels at this level. don't know why I keep wanting to go long on it. It's probably, I need somebody to come over and just slap me in my face. Go the other way. Paralysis by analysis. That's right, Major Dave. Paralysis by analysis. Too much junk up on your screens. I actually I can just kind of eye filter a lot of this stuff out, but I don't know if other people can or not. You can see all this liquidity still sitting down here at 1600. See it all just hanging out down here. It makes me think price is going to want to move back down here to 1600, 13,600. So I think you could probably take a short up here at this big level of resistance up here at 30 and try to ride it down to 600. Wouldn't be the worst trade. We see some support forming here though on the book map, but I think it is going to want to eat up this liquidity, and there it goes. Liquidity is providing some support again. A lot of selling going on there coming through. Let's look what it does here. Oh, I like these bubbles. It's like exploding. I try to have fun here, guys. Yeah, Jesse. Well, I'm in Missouri, man. Right next door. Jesse, you might be too young to remember the Missouri-Kansas rivalry back in the 80s and 90s. I was a young tyke in the 80s, but the 90s, I grew up in the 90s, man. I remember that Missouri-Kansas rivalry. Our basketball coach, I remember, would go to Lawrence, Kansas. Look at just boom, got through those orders. Went to Lawrence, Kansas, and would go play basketball in Lawrence, Kansas, which is just like 30 minutes, about 45 minutes to an hour on the other side of the Missouri state line. And if one of their players needed to like go to the hospital, he wouldn't let them go to a Kansas hospital. He had to go to a Missouri hospital. He wouldn't even let their buses fill up with gas in Kansas. They had to only fill up in Missouri. It's like a rivalry that's gone back to like the Civil War. It's like old school. But now, when they did the whole conference realignment stuff, like back in the mid 2000s, like when they really first started doing it, now it's pretty standard. But when they first started it, Missouri went to the SEC, Kansas stayed with the Big 12, and that was like, and then Kansas got all mad because Missouri left, and Kansas was like, we're never playing you again, ever. And they didn't play each other for like 20 years. They just now started up an exhibition game again. But those games were crazy, like crazy rivalry. And now they tried to make this fake rivalry between Missouri and Arkansas, which is BS. Nobody cares about Arkansas. It's all Kansas. But when I was growing up, we hated people from Kansas. I like you though, Jesse. That's kind of faded. Our youngins here just don't know how to hate them people from Kansas. But now we're pushing down, pushing. It's going to seek out more liquidity down here. Where's it going to go? I don't see any longer term liquidity. Oh, down here. Look at this. 50. Shall we? Shall we participate, boys? Let's see. There's a long wick there in that 1 minute. I don't know. May have just gotten in too low. $97. There's some stuff going on. I'll take our stop. Take our stop if we need to. Although I still think it's probably going to go down. But we got in too low on it. Do you like that trade though? So one thing, you can see here cumulative delta going into exhaustion. See, if we look down here at this liquidity, and again, guys, I'm learning how to use this. This liquidity is new down here. It hasn't been sitting there that long. Got some more up there at 05. Ah, I like this low volume node here. If it moves back up into the value area, we need to get out of it and just call it a loss. I mean, I've said this before. It always feels like somebody's messing with you. See how it comes right to my price? I feel like somebody's on the other side of this being like, let's just fuck with them. Yeah, let's just mess with them. You can see all this selling pressure on top of it. So if it gets through that, then you just got to get out of it. Need to get out. This delta's moving up too much. Just being quiet here, guys. You probably understand why. You don't. You don't know, you don't know. What's Overlord? I'm just getting chopped up on this. Boom. Well, that's my limit for today. Done. So frustrating. Me. For me. It says if support is dropping as price falls on bookmap. Well, those orders are getting eaten up, so they're getting filled or they're getting pulled, meaning that they're like spoof orders. You see here, it did drop. The original trade. This is me off to no end. Man, that's frustrating. Always learning, always trying to refine it, but I feel like I'm about to get just chopped up to bits. Time is 9:02. Trading range today, maybe. Mm-hmm. Well, guys, after something like that, you never know quite what to say. Take a break. All right, let's go get some coffee and we'll come back and see what happens with this thing. All right, I don't know where my coffee break icon is, so I'm just gonna throw this up here. It's a bummer. Good job, Kyle. Nice trading, sir. All right, I'm gonna grab some coffee. I'll be back in 1 second. Oh, back, guys, back. Bear give you the death stare. Just watch this thing. It's finding its way up there, isn't it? This isn't a 5 minute. All right, guys, I'm putting the shovel down for shizzle. I'm putting the shovel down for real now, guys. Man, that 1 minute looked like it was gonna roll. Now it's just not. I don't know. Delta's moving up. It actually looks bullish here. Well, we'll come back tomorrow, try it again. Right? Hope your day's going better than mine. That's for sure. Say that on occasion. Well, guys, I might just jump off this thing. See you mañana. Might jump off this thing, go clear my head. We shall be back tomorrow. I hope you guys are having a better trading day than me. I like to say that on all my red days. It's the reality of this thing. This can get pretty ugly here pretty quick. This can get down to 4,000 or 5,000 here in a second if I start really revenge trading. Now it looks like we're breaking to the upside. Who knows? I'm gonna jump off this thing. Thanks, George. Thanks, 19 Kaik. Thanks for the positivity, guys. It happens. Positivity happens, and also bad trading days happen to me anyway. I'm still learning. And I think you can always be a student at this stuff. So I'll probably go take a walk, come back, watch this again. I'm actually recording this whole session. So I'll probably come back, watch this whole thing again, and see where mistakes were made on it. It stinks, but I feel like it's almost every week now. Like the first live stream is always a big red one, but that's just the way it goes. All right, guys, I'm gonna see you guys back here tomorrow. I'm jumping off this thing before I do any more damage here. And if anybody's got any questions or nothing, then I'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya, SW Blaze. See ya, Solomon. Yeah, actually, guys, that's true. Next week, I'm gonna start live streaming on Mondays too. So we'll do it starting on Mondays. And yeah, maybe it's just, maybe it's just the time of day. Maybe it's like I think I said in the, you can make excuses, whatever. It is what it is. It happened. It is what it is. There's nobody to blame on it. Could we have done better risk management? I saw this one dropping. I probably needed to get out sooner on it. Would have been a good idea. We just got chopped up in here just on this one little 51 6-minute move. 6 minutes. I just got chopped up on it, going up and down, up and down, up and down. So that's life. All right, guys, I'm gonna see you guys later. See you tomorrow. Never give up. I love it. Never give up. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Thanks.